It's time for our Week 3 best bets. Here's our record so far for the first 2 weeks of the NFL season. On spread bets, it's not good. It's 5-8 in Week 1, 3-6 in Week 2 for an 8-14 record overall. I'm going to talk about that here in just a second. But my Moneyline Parlay Bets are 2-0, 1-0 for a 3-0 record, a perfect record again on the Moneyline Parlay Bets. We've been hitting these Moneyline Parlay Bets since Week 1 of 2024. We're over 83% on our Moneyline Parlay Bets. And I have 2 of those in this video. So for the spread bets, I want to talk about the trends that I've been using here. These are really strong trends that have hit over 60% over the last 10 years. But these trends don't necessarily hit in every single season. In fact, here's one that I used in Week 1. Dogs hitting 6.5 points against the spread in Week 1 is actually at 61%. Look at these green bars here. In 8 of the 11 seasons, it's been profitable. Overall, it's at 61%. In fact, this year it was 2-1. So every once in a while we get these red bars where it doesn't hit, and this might make some people nervous. But as I always say, if you want to be profitable in sports betting, you have to look at the long-term profitability, not just 1 week, not just 1 season. So this particular trend was not profitable in 3 of these 11 seasons, but it was in 8 of the 11. So I'm definitely going to bet this trend again in 2026. But regardless of this, I am going to adjust my bets a little bit because the record for the spread bets is not good right now. So I'm going to bump my percentage here to 1.5% for the Moneyline Parlay Bets and reduce my spread bets to 0.5%. This is what I call adaptive betting. I don't want to lose too much over here on the spread bets, but I definitely want to take advantage of these Moneyline Parlay Bets. Let's get to our Week 3 best bets. For Week 3, I have another trend that hits at over 60% in the last 10 years. In Week 3, 0-2 teams have not won a game yet this year, facing teams that have won at least 1 game, so 1-1 or 1-2, cover the spread at an amazing 62.9%. That's 44 out of 70 such games. We're not betting on these teams to win, we're just betting on them to cover the spread. There are actually 10 teams that are 0-2, but 2 of them are facing each other, the Chiefs and Giants, so that won't be part of this trend. But here are the teams that are. This is in chronological order. The first game with the Dolphins, plus 12.5 at the Bills. We have the Browns plus 8.5 at home against the Packers. We have the Texans plus 1.5 at the Jaguars. And the Panthers plus 6.5 at home against the Falcons. Now in this group, we have 3 divisional games. The Dolphins at the Bills, the Texans at the Jaguars, and the Falcons at the Panthers. And because divisional teams know each other very well, I'm really counting on these divisional dogs to cover the spread in Week 3. We have 4 more games. We have the Jets plus 7 on the road against the Buccaneers. We have the Titans plus 3.5 at home against the Colts. We have the Saints plus 7.5 on the road against the Seahawks. And the Bears a pick'em at home against the Cowboys. But right here in the second row, we have another divisional game. So those are 8 spread bets according to this trend. Like I said, I know it's not easy to pick 0-2 teams. I did this last year, and in 2024, this trend went 6-3. So I'm going to bet it again, but again, only 0.5% on my spread bets. Let's get to the Moneyline Parlay Bets. This first fact, which I call fact number 2, because it's typically comes second in this list, but road teams favored by 5.5 to 6 points win at a rate of now 76.2%, or 64 of the last 84 games since 2015. And this includes 2 games in 2025 where both of the road teams won. And this is a Moneyline Parlay bet for this fact. With the Falcons on the road against the Panthers, the Falcons are favored by 5.5 to 6 points on the road. We're getting minus 245 on the money line, and the Chiefs on the road against the Giants. The Chiefs are favored by 5.5 to 6 points as well. We're getting minus 255 on the money line. We get a minus 104 parlay odds, but the trend odds are minus 138, so there's definitely a big edge here. So take the Falcons to win and the Chiefs to win in our first Moneyline Parlay bet. Now I have to say this here. I get a lot of questions about this. I'm picking the Panthers to cover the spread, but I'm picking the Falcons to win the game. Those are 2 completely different bets, and both bets can happen. In the first fact, home teams favored by 6.5 to 7 points win at a rate of 77.2%, or 142 out of 184 games since 2015. And this also includes 2 games for 2025, where both of those teams won the game. So I know my data up here says 2015 and 2024, but again, that includes 2 additional games in 2025. And the Moneyline Parlay bet for this fact is the following. We have the Bucks at home against the Jets and the Seahawks at home against the Saints. Now the Bucks are favored between 6.5 to 7 points, which is great. We're getting minus 300 on the money line for the Bucks. The Seahawks are favored by a little bit more, and we're getting minus 400 on the money line for the Seahawks. Putting these 2 bets together, we're getting minus 150 parlay odds. The trend odds are minus 147. So the reason I have question marks up here is because this is actually lower than the parlay odds. What that means is this is not a positive EV bet. However, this bet should occur about 59% of the time. So even if we're not getting an edge here, I still like the odds of this hitting. But I have never taken a Moneyline Parlay bet with minus 150 odds. It's usually at most minus 135, minus 136. So I might wait for later in the week to see if any of these money lines go down to get better odds. So this particular bet is on hold. Hope you enjoyed this video. As I said at the beginning of the video, I'm going to reduce my bets for my spread bets to 0.5%, but up my Moneyline Parlay bets to 1.5%. This is what I call adaptive betting, and it's one of the strategies that I use to manage my bankroll. Make sure you check out my Thursday morning video where I'll put more spread bets according to my model, and maybe new Moneyline Parlay bets as well. Good luck in your Week 3 best bets. Let's go!